I'm very much looking forward to this interview because you have stayed in my brain and my soul ever since. Hook! Hook!
It might look like Robin Williams has lost his marbles here, but this is just a long-running gag between our interviewer and the actor.
Hook!
Still, this doesn't mean Williams holds back from any craziness in Old Dogs. Old Dogs is about best friends and colleagues Dan and Charlie, played by Williams and John Travolta. Suddenly, they have to look after 7-year-old twins.
I really don't know where to start, Dan.
Daddy!
I have kids.
Twins.
Of course, the kids spark off some adventures in Dan's life.
I think I remember where they go.
It's weird. Catch you later. Mr. Nishimura. It's an honor.
Nice to meet you.
A drug and booze-laden role must be interesting to prepare for.
Totally, done the research. Also the scenes where I got drunk in Miami, done that research too. And got a tattoo while drunk. I'd show you, but, you know, the camera would have to back up, and it's a whole other thing. But, you know, having done the research on both of those things, that for me was like, mm-hmm.
Comedy can be blunt and harsh, but for Williams, it eventually comes down to the details.
The idea of, you know, trying these things, and then doing something wild, and then having someone like, you know, classic Laurel and Hardy is, now you've done it. You've switched my medication. Now I don't know where I'm going. I'm hallucinating now. You're turning into a goldfish.
Speaking of goldfish, animals always do well in comedies, but sometimes they're more hostile than you would think.
Penguins are nasty little bitches if they get hot. They get nuts. I mean, they had one or two there, and they really said, don't touch them. And you see penguins, if it gets hot, if they get above, like, well, because they're from Antarctica, and it's not like they're going to go, you know, I like a nice warm pool. I just turned the penguin into an old Jew. How are you? I need a piece of fish and a nice place to shit that's cold.
Bigger animals often cause a lot of...
We had that one moment where Walt Becker, the director, he's like, you should scream here. And I go, what kind of scream are you looking for? And he said,
you have to scream like the guy, the Asian man in Spielberg's movie, you know, the guy who melted in Raiders of the Lost Ark? I said it's got to be that high.
Give me your loudest, most feminine scream. So I was like...
Seth is delightful. Seth Green is again, he's another revelation. He's like having another child on the set because he's continuously positive. He has got an endless ability to improvise. I decided to just be very physical with Robin, that I had no problem beating him up if I felt mad at him, and I had no problem with loving him up if I felt affection toward him, you know.
Did you do this?
Oh, yeah.
Did you bring them in?
Definitely.
Why?
You described this house as being a dangerous place for kids, so I hired the best child-proofers there are.
Everybody thinks that Robin is completely improv, which he is, but he also comes prepared, you know, with the character. And John, believe it or not, is equally adept as going off the cuff. So those two would be on book, and then they'd go off book, and, you know, it's a perfect blend of kind of wit with those two, and it made for great chemistry in the movie.
Improvisation and uncompromising jokes are the specialities of these comedians. So just imagine what happens when things really go pear-shaped on set. Luckily, the Old Dogs DVD includes bloopers and deleted scenes, so you don't have to miss out on the fun.
It's not a
Come back and look at me. It's a shaking. Let's start again. I'm really scared. Woo! Didn't know I had that much excitement in me.
The hilarious Old Dogs is on DVD now.
It's my fault. I was gonna...
Hey, come on back.